Hey guys, it's Josh the Car Guy with another one. Today we do have a 2024 Land Rover Range Rover Sport Dynamic XE for a client. Yes, this is gasoline, but it's generally exactly what they're looking for. Now, for this particular client, they seen the gold Land Rover that we imported, and of course they reached out to us little by little. We kind of had that back and forth conversation, and we're here now reviewing this vehicle that we basically already locked in. And generally, what it was for them was the white and the bronze. I don't know if you could see in this um, see on the screen here, but the bronze trimming that on the accent side of things that you could see on the side there, that it's slightly like a gold bronze type of darkish, not like bright gold situation. So it's pretty unique in regards to what they wanted, with the black, of course, on top. Um, yeah, this is definitely what they wanted. We showed this to them. This is actually the first option we sent, and they can't go wrong with it. Not to mention the interior has that tan finish, like you know. Generally, you want to say like the yacht spec. Some people generally say it, but look at this interior, man. It just gives off executive, you know, different, right? But yeah, this is definitely nice, breathtaking, which is what the client stated. But yes, tan interior with like the accent and everything is black, so you have a best of both worlds. You know, check that out. So generally, of course, this is what the clients fall in love with the pictures, of course. However, for us, we go to work, we go to bat to understand, is this a viable option for our clients, to make sense of it. Of course, this is 2024. It has 11,000 miles. 11,000, 12,000, give or take. It's pretty spot on for the year. I mean, of course, they driven it less than not, which I would expect for these type of vehicles. Garage kept, possibly on the weekends, or some few meetings here and there. For these type of vehicles, so you got a 3.0 engine on there, six-cylinder turbo. So pretty much good there. You do have a 5.0 CR condition report, so that's always very good. And of course, you have two owners. Generally, when it says two owners, again, with a new vehicle like this, 2 to 1, the dealer had it from the manufacturer, switched the MCO to the title, and then once the title switched over, it put them as the first owner, and then the person that actually drove in the 11,000 miles as the second. But generally, this still only has one owner. This is something that, of course, we explain a lot to some of our clients that prefer having one owner on the vehicle. But we see this time and time again where dealers do this, or sometimes it's just basically them swapping inventory around, where you may have a Land Rover dealer up in Texas or somewhere, trying to sell to a Jaguar dealer, which generally is Land Rover. Those two plays hand in hand, switching it over to them because the market is more hot there, and then the title switches over, ultimately making it into two orders based off of how they do the paperwork, right? So let's just dive right into the 5.0 CR. Of course, we're going to look at that to see what's currently going on. 5.0, I mean, basically, you're not really going to find anything per se, but it does have 11,000 miles on it. So there's some small wear and tear possibly around there, but yeah, just as stated, already locked it up. But just wanted to go over this with you guys. Um, CR is pretty good. It's just given the basic dynamic of the overall vehicle. So yeah, so we have the Carfax on this. Of course, we're gonna pull that up. Of course, you're gonna see the two owners still on there. But let's check this out. Okay, so just as mentioned, Jaguar Land Rover. Before this is not our we do this every day. So, just as was stating, you have Jaguar Land Rover, South Hills, PA. Okay, so they were the first person to get this in 2024. Inspection station on that. And then basically registered here as a personal lease vehicle. So this is typical. I'd expect that a lease vehicle, mostly you have corporate CEOs, owners, that would do something like this to lease a vehicle, and then after a while, basically just hand it back in, switch to a newer one. That's typical here in the U.S. That's totally something that's on the regular. So from August to March 2025, 4,000 miles. 10, 11, 12, 6, 7 months, 4,000 miles. Not really bad. Did the inspection, did the brakes check, actually serviced it, within 5,000 miles. So 2 to 1, this is basically when they brought it back. So, 5,000 miles, 6 months, they're already in the next, 2025, 2026, right then and there, right? And then this goes back to the same dealer. So this is where you see this is where now you have two owners. It's plain like you have two owners. So this person titled it, registered it, and then after that they flipped it back to the dealer, and at that point they registered as a second owner. But as you can see, you don't see any more information here. And then of course it's once it's re-registered, which you could see here, vehicle sold, it would then say three, but in reality, it'll have two at that point. But look, but of course, just like this vehicle here, for our clients, it would generally be a very good purchase. You have 11,000 miles. It has been serviced. System checks have been done. Um, 10,000 miles service performed. This is very typical. So now it's just basically gonna say three people was doing it, but generally it's just two, and two being the fact that they transferred over to a lease option. They drove for 5,000 miles, and then of course our client driving this thing, then it would subside there. But other than that, everything looks good. But then another thing too, just to sidetrack that. So for 5,000 lease options, so this thing possibly did actually have two people on it. Just backtracking myself there, based off of the mileage, right? And this is something that we would flag, seeing to the fact that I got onto it. So at least, and then it went back to from 5,000. So that was the first owner actually. But what they did was not registered to the actual owner right then and there. So they pre-owned it. They certified it, and then the second owner actually came in. And as you can see, from 5,000, they brought it in. It was offered here on the April, from March, April, May, June. They held it for a while, so the dealers kind of drove this thing a while, if it's accurate, right? Up to 7, and then the second owner actually came in at 7. The Jaguar Land Rover dealer, they serviced it, and then it was retitled once more, which is under a lien, which 2 to 1 was a lease option once more again, and then offered for sale, as you can see here. So So generally, yes, we are correct because it's offered to sale and is back to the Land Rover. So basically, two dealers back and forth splitting the inventory between the actual buyer that leased it out for a few months. That basically raised this to 11,000 miles on the vehicle. So basically, brand new. You know, minor drives here and there, and that's basically about it, right? So you call this a good deal? 100%. Nothing looks awkward with this. This is typically on these high end vehicles. What generally takes place with the dealers. Also, sometimes even with the manufacturers, the fact that if they have to switch over a title to someone else, and they want a title in their business name or whatever the case may be, dealers tend to get very creative in a way to facilitate, right? Is it a bad thing? No. Is it a good thing? I mean, understanding practices. If you get the deal done, then is it really bad? Is everything good? You know. So this is typical. So looking at this on Rover, yes, it's definitely a very good deal. But yeah, this is generally what we do. If you're looking for a smooth, simple process that would get you from A to Z, save you time, and you don't have to worry about anything, knowing that you have a reliable company that is inspecting, looking at condition reports, cross-checking everything for you, making sure that everything is well handled from sourcing, negotiating, logistics, the boat procurement, and then also handling customs and getting this vehicle delivered directly to your house in the Caribbean, have fully hands off and registration. That's what Lux is all about. Making sure that you're comfortable with your investment in our hands to basically handle that and facilitate to get you your vehicle. That's what Lux is all about, with consistency and trust that we bring into the marketplace. If this video does provide any value to you, we definitely ask that you click the like button and also subscribe, as it helps us to help you to bring forth more of this content. And of course, feel free to comment if there's anything that we miss that you feel that you're able to help you a little bit more. Definitely leave it in the comments. We definitely appreciate feedback, as it helps us to help you guys once again. Thank you very much.